Everybody, if you don't know the drill and you missed the sermon, all you got to do is go to YouTube, go to our website, app, whatever. You can catch up and look at what I preached on. But I want to talk a little bit about what I didn't go after very specifically. I've entitled this story, I want to tell you, Chlorine, Mosquito Nets, and Human Nature. Here's the deal. So in the developing world, there's been a major push to dig wells, to help people get access to water. Awesome thing, right? That's so good. But out of it, we have learned something about you and I that I want to bring up. So the water would obviously be in the well, but when it would get transferred to the individual villages and things like that, it wasn't as clean as it ought to be. So what they would do is they would sell for dirt cheap, like pennies on the dollar. As I'm looking at the article, they literally said like this was pennies. They would provide people with chlorine tablets to be able to put it into the water that they retrieved and clean the water. And you would think, okay, for pennies, this is cheap. It gives you access to water. This is amazing. Most people actually weren't using it. They found that people were either skeptical that it really worked, would forget, all those kinds of things. So they thought, well, what else can we do? And so some more development happened, and they provided these chlorine tablet distribution things at the actual well for free. So what you would do is you would fill up your bucket, click this thing, drop the tablet in there, you're fine. Water, this is all free, and you get back with clean water. That's great. They found out that about only 40% of the people did that because they would often, in the moment of filling up water, having some things in their minds, they would forget. They literally just forgot. They got the water, forgot to do the chlorine, or again, they didn't trust the process. They were trying to figure out, how do we help people not get sick with this water? Even not just locals, but even the workers who would go get the water. They would often just forget. They literally would just get the water, drink it. And one guy said, I've had malaria now 5 times because I just keep forgetting. Many of the missionaries and workers would show up and they'd get malaria and other diseases from the mosquitoes and stuff because they would have mosquito nets above their beds, and before falling asleep, they would forget or just not think about dropping the net over the bed so they would be protected. The article zeroed in on one issue: human nature. In other words, people from Nairobi, Kenya, New York City, people all over the world, you and I are the same, that we know what's right and we know what should be done, but we just don't do it. In a sermon about teachability, I hope that highlights something about you and I. That yes, you might know the right thing to do, but you and I are not always good at doing what we know we should do. And Proverbs 27:17 says something that you know. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. Here's what you need in your life. You might know what you need to know. It may not be someone tell me the secret to ... To be teachable, you simply need someone in your life to oftentimes just remind you of what you already know, keep you accountable to doing what you know you should do. And by doing that, by allowing yourself to be sharpened, you have become teachable. So this week, make sure you have someone in your life that sharpens you intentionally. Thanks for listening.